My name's James Abraham. I'm a book editor and publisher. I was born in Baltimore, and I come from a very verbal family. As a boy, my older sister would take us to the library every week, and we'd get out books and read them. And we'd actually hold contests to see who finished first. But you had to write a book report. You couldn't just say you were finished. When I was 7, I got a copy of a book about Squanto. I was so impressed with the story, I wrote my book report and showed it to my second grade teacher. And she had me read it in front of the class. And I remember thinking, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I was a journalist for 25 years. When I returned from college, I got a job at the Baltimore News American. Then I went to the Afro American. And eventually I moved around the country. I came to Florida with the Tallahassee Democrat. I later worked for the Sarasota paper and the Port Charlotte paper before I retired. About 5 years ago, I noticed there was absolutely no commemoration of Black History Month down here in Charlotte County. And so I decided to do my own. And so I put together a 12 speaking engagement and just went around the county speaking at libraries. And once I did that, several people said, hey, you ought to contact Florida Humanities. What I sold them on. Trying to find ways to tell stories primarily about communities that have been marginalized, but people who had integral roles in our history, but history sort of writes around them, hides them in the background. I had 2 concepts in mind. One is about a family. 7 brothers grew up right here in Punta, Gorda, and they all served in the armed forces in various branches. But when they all came home from the war, there was no celebration because they were Black. And so I presented that in the context of the Black military experience in Florida, which again has been often marginalized. A lot of people don't know that the last battle of the Civil War fought in Florida was fought by the United States colored troops. And so I try to connect that string so people see that, yeah, we study Civil War, but we didn't study that part of it. I just want people to think and to check me, to ask me questions and to go beyond me. I hope they do the same thing I do. When I read anything or when someone tells me something, I start out from the fact that they're not telling the truth, and I want to know more.